hi all. Okay, this might be not in the right order, but I'm just gonna jump in somewhere because otherwise we'll never get this done. Here are some of my notes I took. Let me see, because yeah, there's one thing it was personal, but again, everything's kind of, I don't know, personal, and then it applies to everybody, so there are just notes of things that had happened that I've been meaning to like tell you. Wait, is that still? Yeah, these many notes, and like at this point I just think, because it'd be nice to kind of have notes, then I'll just know I will remember everything I wanted to, like at least a good old chunk of it, and also it kind of organizes my mind, and then like I'll at least put all the statements that I really wanted to say into the video, as opposed to having these long pauses in the video. But I'm also really excited actually to just get to make videos again, because I had all the videos on the phone and couldn't make new ones, so like I don't want more growth to get lost, you know. Like, I don't know if it will, because at the moment I always kind of think, oh, what if nothing good happens in this? Like, it just already did, which was about relationships. That's the story for itself. Should I say that here, or will I do it then? So now a part of me is like, well, what if taking the notes takes as much time as making the video, and then I have less time to make the video? I don't know. I was thinking to go out, the weather is pretty. Also, so here's, guess what? Finally found an editing software, and guess what it is? Just the one that came with Windows anyway. So it's like, also sometimes, I don't know, but I just heard it. I don't know. No, okay, I'll put that in another video, because, I don't know. But at least it's out there, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't want it to get to the point where I don't want to even do it anymore anyway. Because now I'm starting to think, what if that kind of happens, or that might be the next stage, or that maybe like, even, you know, I was like, overwhelmed all the things that we actually haven't done. Because I used to think it's, oh, so much stuff to do, but now it's like, it's all the growth that we hadn't evolved to the capacity of, or that we just left fall to the wayside, or, you know, and then we have all of it to do at once. So, is it actually overwhelm, or is it actually us having not kept up in the first place? And another thing, I thought, what was it? But I don't want to waste the space trying to remember things, but I also want to have said them so that it's not another thing that continues to be on my mind. There was one thing. That was about choice making. That was a different. That was related to shopping. There's something related to this. If it comes to my mind later, I will edit. And like ADD, not edit. But this is about editing, and it's interesting that it's the most simplistic. I had overlooked this one, and it works. It does the job. I mean, you know, I'm a beginner and all, but like, I'm not here to like show special effects. I just wanna. Life is already so special and super, like, I don't know, miraculous, more miraculous than we could have ever thought. And I just wouldn't have the time, probably, if it was something I already knew then. And, you know, it took me, I don't know if it sounds in retrospect like, oh, it could have been easily solved, but it was like, always there was something else coming up. I even did the all-nighter I wanted to talk to you about, which was when I posted, do what needs to be done, or doing what needs to be done allows for things to get done. And I did that. I worked throughout the whole night so that it would just be done, but the next morning I was still not done. I remember as you know, I have a new word, blueprint mom. I don't want to, like, I don't know, it feels like a little bit like a liar, like there's something to hide, which I didn't want, but I also just wanted to be natural. Like, I thought when I evolved to the point, then I would just say, names or for people where you don't have a lot of. But I feel like, because teacher, and you can have a lot of teachers, but somebody who gave us the blueprint is like, where the things happen to the T, that you already knew them, you'd heard them, that had already happened before, then it's almost crazy in a good way, you know? Like, it's almost like, not crazy, but it's like, so, I don't know. It just really shows us how much bigger life is. So yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's like, it just really like wows you, and I can't even explain it. It's just humbling, and it's just like hard to believe, you know, but you have to believe it because it's right in front of you. And I finally found this, so I just wanted to show that too. Yay, because I had a lot of other. Then when would it accept? Well, I had iMovie, and I know it's really simplistic to a lot of people, but to me, and I wanted something simplistic because then I can get the job done faster. Because with some like good chunks of footage, if I have 17 minutes or something cool, like parts, and then I can make it parts, which maybe is even kind of good, and for some, I don't know, but because I like longer videos if it interests me what is being said. But also I kind of find myself happen to like, either it's born out of doubts, or I'll just try and explain all the details, and then when I watch it back later, it's like dragged it on. But like also a lot of times I have watched footage back now, the first one of when I did the challenge. I don't even want to send people back there, but also it was kind of part of this. This is what kicked it off. So I wanted to be nachvollziehbar, which leads me to another point, that I'm speaking German. Oh my god, life is so complex. And I watched that footage, and I thought it was really, I talked for so long, but I always do this, and I watched it, and I realized I was saying things that needed to be said, because they needed to be said, and I felt right. It's like, my attention was there while watching it. I didn't feel like it was, but that was only one part, because the other part is really long. Anyway, this is what I wanted to have edited, those things. And okay, so yeah, if you have separate parts that are longer than themselves, fine. But I had some footage back when I thought, this imaginary tomorrow, but I didn't know it was an imaginary tomorrow yet. I hadn't evolved to that growth yet, so I thought I was gonna edit this, and I had all this footage, and like, I would kind of just, I sort it out in editing if I had some footage that was maybe a few seconds each. So it just seems a little, I don't know, silly, just like I want them all kind of in one part. This is how I always envisioned it too. And like, then I have like a million videos on, well, not literally, but, and each of the parts is like 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 1 minute, and like 1 minute and a half or something. And like, expect people to like go to every separate part. I would have liked for it to be kind of structured and all. So yeah, maybe share those notes once again. I was gonna go out and talk. Oh yeah, maybe I'm already saying all those things now. But I'm still gonna go out, so there'll be a second part to this, okay? Please do come back and watch it, if necessary. Or if I don't have edited it by then you will see later if I'm in the park, or if I'm like out in the sunshine, because the sun is really beautiful. But the main thing is it gets said, So this is actually the positivity journal. Should I show you some of that? Oh no! Oh well. But it was like when I was. Oh god, excuse me. This is why I want editing, but oh yeah, okay, German, okay. No, let me not talk about this, because then at least interesting. This cloud is so cute. This is really, oh my god, I know, so symbolic, but that cloud is so cute. It didn't even mean no harm, but it was like, how do you call it? Not capture. It was in front of the sun, and not letting the light come through, and that's how I felt last year, and I was like, I don't want to draw on it, because I didn't put it on here to put it on here. I put it on here because I feel like I need to spread those solutions, and in order to understand the solutions, I must sometimes, mention the problem. And it was also really significant that I found my voice at the beginning, but in any case, so I mentioned speaking German. Yeah, because I wanted to edit all these little parts into one video, and then I couldn't because I had then I wanted to use iMovie, which worked really great and fine, but my whole storage was already full. Because every day something new would happen, and I wanted to capture it for you, so that I can like spread the love in the world and just like this usable information. Just people, we need this, you know. I remember Nadia Khalil saying this sentence that Christ told her that we will be starving for this information, and it's like, yeah, it's really true. We really are. So like, we need this. So I just kept making, and I tried to squeeze one in, and just thought I'll sort it out, but then I couldn't, because I thought, well, I also was gonna delete a lot, but then like later on, I also, after some evolvements later, I looked at them, like when I actually watched them, I actually see, oh my god, this and this, I already did that. But at the time, I completely thought, you know, everything was just messed up and bad, and I was horrible, and I was just struggling so much, and I just like now look at it as this led me here, and I wanted to be nachvollziehbar for people, just they can kind of see. And so speaking German, sometimes I just don't want to interrupt the like speaking flow, because a lot of times in a different language infuses the statement, like if you're trying to bring a certain meaning across, infuses the words with a meaning that captures it so well that another language just couldn't have, like due to its literal meaning at times. And so I kind of just don't want to sometimes it just, and probably sometimes also me being German, it comes in my mind first, but a lot of times I find these literal meanings line up with what I'm trying to say so well in German, and vice versa, you know. But since I'm speaking English to you, it's like sometimes I just don't want to I simply don't want to stop the listening flow as well and the speaking flow, and simply just say it, and you know, because at least the information's out there and we can worry about it later, and then I can write it in the description wherever, you know, time permitting, which probably it will, it's just a word, and like maybe I can make time once and just go through everything and just put in there, because then like at least you know how to spell it, and then you can like look it up as well, or if I have time I will write what it means, like if not, but also like don't worry about it, because now that I kind of understand what blueprint, have come to understand what that means, it's like it'll be there when you need it, and then you'll be like, oh, is that what she meant, or something like that, or like, oh, she was saying that already, and stuff like that. So then you're just like, you'll get it, even if like, I mean, I don't know about like other language, but like I know you'll know, like at least I knew things, like now I know things that maybe our teacher, that's why I call her Blueprint Mom, and it is like generations, but I was gonna go into all of that later. I feel like I've kind of said a lot. Maybe let me go out and see if anything more comes to my mind, and this can kind of be like an intro, and then like even then the coming videos, even if it's stuff that I wanted to have said in the past, but I don't know if I still need to go out, if I say it all now. Let me hurry, okay?